So we have a tweet from the New York Post that says, "Horror. Video of Ukrainian refugee Iryna Zarutska's slaughter on Charlotte train is met with deafening silence from Dem leaders." And if you don't know what's going on here, it's been all over X. You cannot escape this story. This girl right here is Iryna Zarutska. She's a Ukrainian refugee. She escaped the war in Ukraine. She was stabbed by this guy right here on a train in what I believe is Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know of any other Charlottes. This is the moment where she was about to plunge that knife. He was about to plunge that knife into her neck. And there is a reason why you are not hearing about this anywhere other than on X and I guess apparently the New York Post now. And it's the same reason why these Dem leaders are not saying anything. I'm not going to deny the role that race plays in not just this situation, but situations like this all over the country and all over the world. I'm not going to be disingenuous and say that it has no role in these situations, but I am not going to be the guy to make it a focal point in this video because there are a lot more people out there who are going to be a lot better at talking about it than I will be. They'll make the points that need to be made a lot better than I can. What I can do, though, is talk about the self-defense and combat aspects of this video in order to try and help people to not fall victim in this way. And the first thing you have to be aware of is that the system is not even failing, because to say failure implies that that is not the purpose of the system. Now, I am not saying it's this way across the board necessarily, but there are a lot of places in the nation where it honestly kind of seems like they want this to happen. It wouldn't surprise me if some of these Dem leaders saw what happened, they saw the victim, and they went, good. It would not surprise me one bit. The purpose of a system or a machine or a whatever is what it does. And what that means is if you wanted to make a machine that spits out chocolate bars, and when you finally got done making it, it spit out piles of shit instead. You don't have a chocolate bar machine, you have a pile of shit machine. And you can try to tweak it so that it becomes a chocolate bar machine, but until that happens, it is nothing more than a pile of shit machine. So you have to be aware of the fact that in general, your safety is your responsibility, but it is even more so your responsibility when the system does not care if you get killed. You need to take your safety into your own hands. And I personally don't believe that crime is going down. People say that violent crime is going down. I don't believe it because just looking around my area, anywhere that I have lived my entire life, from growing up all the way till now, it has steadily gotten worse over the years. Year after year, it has only gotten more ghetto, it's only gotten more crime-ridden, it's only gotten more violent, worse people keep moving in. It's a situation where I honestly think somebody's lying. I think either A, the statistics say one thing and people just lie about what the stats say, or B, maybe the stat takers, maybe the people whose job it is to report certain things are not reporting what they need to. The bottom line is this world is not safe, and it is your choice whether or not you want to be a victim. And that starts with a couple of different things that you can do. One, you can learn how to fight. You can do boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu, whatever, combat sports. You can focus on combat sports. That's a huge thing. But even beyond that, and in this situation, this would have really helped Iryna over here. You can learn how to avoid sketchy situations and sketchy people. You can utilize situational awareness. Now, I am not attempting in any way, shape, or form to denigrate poor Iryna here. Rest in peace, by the way. But there are things that if she did, she would have potentially been able to get away if this guy made a move in the first place. The thing you have to realize about criminals is that they're not looking for fights, they're looking for victims. And they're only going to take a swipe at you if one, they think they can take you, or two, if they think they have the jump on you. And oftentimes it's going to be both of those things. This girl came in, she sat down near people. If she had stayed away from people, if she had kept, at least a few feet between her and everybody else, she probably would have been able to get away from this spot. She would have just got off the train and went about her business. Now, I understand sometimes the train or the bus or the whatever is crowded, and because of that, you have to be around people. But at the very least, you can position yourself in a way that is going to be harder for you to be snuck up on. Instead of sitting here, if she had sat in this seat and put her back towards the wall and maybe put her right leg up on this chair, up on this seat here, she would have had a much better range of view, which would have included this guy right here on her right side in the peripheral, which means that when he started moving to try and take the knife out of his pocket and open it up, she may have seen that movement and she could have checked it out and seen, uh-oh, that's a knife, and she could have got up and she could have ran. A lot of people think that situational awareness or anything that has to do with self-defense is a paranoid thing. It's something that somebody who is incredibly scared, irrationally scared of their environment, of other people, of anything do. They think that situational awareness is you sitting here uptight, like jumpy, like who's that? Who's behind me? What's that guy doing? It's not. It is as simple as just sitting differently. That's all you have to do. It's as simple as when you see movement out of the corner of your eye, just, oh, what's that? Over 9 times out of 10, it's going to be nothing. But that 0.01% of the time, that 0.00001% of the time that it is not nothing, that it is something that requires your attention, you're going to be very happy that you were practicing that. And it's not always just for self-defense, it's for anything. You see someone struggling with a package. Oh, shoot. I just noticed that guy needs help. I might as well help him out. There's a bunch of different things, a bunch of good things that come from being aware of what's going on, you know? It's actually kind of common sense. If you told somebody, look both ways before you cross the street, they'd go, oh yeah, no, of course. What do you think, I'm stupid? I know that. If you told somebody, hey, don't walk while looking at your phone, they'd be like, yeah, I know, I don't want to walk into a pole. But when you tell someone, hey, just take a look around every now and again, you never know, there might be a sketchy dude who might be planning something. They have this weird, like, oh yeah? What, you're always ready, huh? That's it? You're always ready? You're always ready to strike. It's ridiculous. And if this woman had taken that time to consider these possibilities, she might still be alive today, you know? It's unfortunate, to say the least. To say the most milquetoast thing that you could say about this situation, it is very unfortunate, you know? And this guy should have been off the street a long time ago. I forget if I mentioned, but he has been arrested 14 times before this. There is no reason why he should have been free. He should have been behind bars. Easy. Hands down. No question. And this picture right here, I found it interesting because as soon as I saw it, I thought of another picture. And that's this picture. Now, I believe this is in the 70s. This is in Boston. I could actually bring you to the exact spot that this picture was taken. I recognize it. I was there recently, actually. This is called, I believe, the Soiling of Old Glory. This is a very, very influential picture to baby boomers. During the 70s, integration happened, right? And it wasn't just integration of the South, it was integration of the North. You had different neighborhoods. You had black people in one neighborhood, and they went to that neighborhood school. You had white people in one neighborhood, or, you know, Irish, Italian, etc., etc. They had their own neighborhoods, and they had their own schools that they would go to. And eventually what happened is people started integrating. You know, the black people started going to the white school, the white people started going to the black school, etc., etc. This is a picture of this guy using the American flag as a weapon to batter this dude right here. And this is one of those pictures that people saw and they were like, whoa, that's not the America I live in. That's not the America that I want to live in. I don't want to pass on that America to my children. No, sir. This is going to be our version, meaning the millennial, and if not, it's going to be Gen Z and Gen A's version of this right here. But this is going to do so much more to awaken something in people that I frankly am kind of nervous about. I'm almost kind of nervous about it because the reaction to this, for one thing, I mean, it's a lot worse than this. This guy survived. In fact, the dude in here, he was interviewed. He even said that he hammed it up for the camera because he wanted to make it a propaganda victory. This picture is literally astroturfed in the first place, but this is so much more visceral. It's so much more natural in a bad way. It is so much more upsetting. And I can only imagine what effect this will have. And as I said, it makes me a little bit nervous. I really hope that you can learn from this situation. I pray for this woman's soul. I pray for her family. To escape a war zone and get killed by some guy who should have been in prison is... I have the words I could use, but if I use them, I'll probably get in trouble. So I don't feel that I can use them. But I hope that nothing like this ever happens to you or anybody that you know. I hope that you are training. I hope that you are keeping an eye out whenever you're in public, especially in an area where you know there's going to be sketch balls around. And I hope you stay safe out there. But if you learned something from this video, leave a like and also sub for more. If you have anything to say down below, leave a comment. And I also have a Patreon. It's $5 a month for a bunch of exclusive content, including early access to videos like this one. Thank you for watching. And until next time, good luck out there.